Virginia Senator and former vice presidential candidate Tim Kaine sparked conservative outrage this week for his comments during a Senate hearing.
Now, Kaine pushed back against Trump cabinet nominee Riley Barnes for saying that Americans' rights come from God rather than the government. Here's what he had to say.
The notion that rights don't come from laws and don't come from the government, but come from the Creator, that's what the Iranian government believes. It's a theocratic regime that bases its rule on Shia law and targets Sunnis, Baha'is, Jews, Christians, and other religious minorities. And they do it because they believe that they understand what natural rights are from their Creator.
So Senator Kaine, who's Catholic, went on to clarify that he is a strong believer in natural rights, but that all people are entitled to equal protection under the law of the 14th Amendment, regardless of their religious background.
Later in the hearing, after Kaine had left, Senator Ted Cruz brought up Thomas Jefferson's famous words in the Declaration of Independence, which say that all men are endowed by their Creator with the rights to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Senator Cruz then had this fiery response.
It is stunning to me that the principle that God has given us natural rights is now deemed by Democrats some radical and dangerous notion. Mr. Jefferson was right when he wrote those words. Government exists to protect those rights. But slavery was not okay when U.S. law allowed it. It was wrong then, it is wrong now, it is always wrong.
House Speaker Mike Johnson also disavowed Tim Kaine's remarks. He wrote on X, "If our rights are given by government and not by God, then the government can simply take them away. We know that Democrats would love that, but you are not supposed to say it out loud."
I mean, I think both sides, and maybe I can't speak for Tim Kaine. I'm assuming that both sides think that, rights are beyond government control, but the government has to make sure that they implement them to ground them in a way that protects everyone equally. So if you are of multiple different faiths, they might tell you different things. Like we've seen people kill in the name of faith, right? Bomb things in the name of faith. And so like some people's faiths are not aligning with what they're using them for. So making sure that laws are in place to protect people against faith that might be used in a malicious way. I mean, most wars were fought over or fight over faith. And so that, it's kind of like that esoteric question of like, what's the real grounding cause? I think, yes, the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness is fine. But I think what Tim Kaine hopefully was referring to was more of just like making sure that the government does its job to protect people against anyone who's using their religion possibly in the wrong way, to be more in like a dictatorship role or making people just act a certain way because religion says so, which we've seen historically.
Yeah, you have a more generous interpretation than I did. I mean, the idea that he would compare really the fundamental grounding of how we understand natural law and our rights that are enshrined by God and protected by the government in this country to like Islamic extremism, it was just really bizarre. It was like he was trying to demonize people who hold that position, which he now claims is a position that he holds as well. And I think Mike Johnson said it best, which is that if rights come from government and not God, then the government can simply take them away. The whole idea of government protection of the rights is that the rights exist, right? They're inalienable. They cannot be taken away. They are given naturally through our Creator, endowed by our Creator. I just am really confused at what
you see how this can get into a rabbit hole. Like, let's say somebody's faith tells them that abortion is way wrong, right? And then they go bomb an abortion clinic or something like that. Like their faith told them this is so abominable that they want to put it to an end. That's when your faith went too far. You can believe anything that you want. You cannot have an abortion, right? You can condemn other people verbally if you'd like to. But when you do any malicious act, the law protects to make sure that person will go to jail, right?
Well, that's the point. But the law that protects people from being murdered, for example, in this case, you're talking about bombing a clinic and killing people. The idea that murder is wrong, and actually most morality comes from a faith tradition, right? Like It didn't just get created out of thin air. The tradition of really the history of the world is that people ended up having a moral code that was given to them by their creator or by God. And so if you suddenly strip that aspect away from it and get rid of all of the faith dimension of it, you basically just have a subjective view of morality where people are arguing over whether or not murder's bad.
Right. And I think that, like, you said I have a lenient view of Tim Kaine about what he said. Yeah, a generous. Right. Because I assume that, I'm like a glass half full type person. Like, I believe that he probably
You're a very positive person, and I actually respect that about you a lot. I'm a pessimist at heart.
Robbie's like same thing, like I wear all black. But I believe that he actually needs to understand that about the Constitution, and perhaps maybe spoke too aggressively about the topic, but really understands that everyone does have natural rights, but also understands what the role of the government is to protect those natural rights. And so I think the minute in our politics today, the minute that you misspeak or overspeak about something and the point's lost, right? The point is completely lost, and now everybody's on your back. I can't believe I'm bringing up the Declaration of Independence. Do you ever read it? And it's like, okay, could it be solved with a calmer conversation? Like, could somebody misspeak? Could I misspeak talking to you? Could you misspeak? You know what I mean? Like, is the point lost? No, we're still understanding each other and having conversation. And I think that that's what I like to see more of. You called it the most ineffective Congress. Like, all right, to me, this is a waste of time. Let's get to it. Let's get to it, guys.
I think he should, if he did mean to say something else, he should certainly clarify, because I do find it a little concerning if someone who is serving.
I mean, what do you think he's going to do? You think his intention is to put forth a bill that does what?
I'm not saying that, but I would like the people who are representing me in government to at least understand our founding principles. Like, I don't think that's too much to ask.
Yeah, I mean, but that's like Kristi Noem when they asked her what habeas corpus was and she defined it in the wrong way. Like, she might be misspeaking. Do I think she doesn't understand it wholly?
She might not.
Oh, you didn't? Oh, you're not defending her. Okay. I was like, I don't know. I mean, I really, again, maybe glass half full. I'm hoping that she understands it in that big role, right? I really do. But perhaps she doesn't. Then that's
I don't know.
Then both her and Tim Kaine, they both gotta go.
Yeah,
they both have to go.
I don't think you'll find much of a Kristi Noem defender in me. But all right, we have a lot more to talk about on Rising. Stay with us.